ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Hello there, welcome to CoreTV Primetime News. I am Gift Ogete. In our major story, Nigeria's wartime head of state, Yakubu Gowon, marks 80 years birthday. Also in this program, President Goodluck Jonathan, other PDP leaders stay away from TAN ambassadors' rally, pushing for his second-term presidential ticket. Two frontline Lagos lawyers, varsity teacher warn Nigerians to look properly before casting their ballot for the next president in 2015. Outside Nigeria, Iraqi lawmakers complete process of unity government in the country. Good to have you join us again. Now, details of the headlines and other stories. President Goodluck Jonathan has written to congratulate a former head of state, Yakubu Gowon, as he attends the age of 80 on Sunday. A statement by his special advisor on media and publicity, Reuben Abati, on Saturday quoted the president as heaping encomiums on Gowon, who had described as a worthy, steadfast and iconic feature of Nigerian history. Abati further quoted the president as saying that the nation would always owe the former head of state a huge debt of gratitude for successfully managing and guiding Nigeria through an unfortunate civil war, out of which it emerged as a stronger and more united nation. The president wished Gowon happy 80th birthday celebrations and prayed that God will continue to bless, guide and protect him. President Goodluck Jonathan and the national leadership of the People's Democratic Party on Saturday refused to be part of the final rally organized by a pro-Jonathan group, the Transformation Ambassadors of Nigeria in Abuja. The rally, which was the last to be held by the group, was aimed at persuading the president to run for the 2015 presidential election. Political observers had thought that the president would use the opportunity to declare his intention to run, having been endorsed as the sole presidential candidate of the PDP. Before now, the PDP had issued statements asking all officials of the party at all levels to attend any rally aimed at boosting and promoting the chances of the president in the 2015 presidential election. Vice President Nnamdi Sambo, who represented the president, however, told the gathering that his boss was attending other official duties. He said the president's popularity was not in doubt because of the numerous groups he said had been asking him to run for the presidency in 2015. The vice president was reacting to the claim by the secretary to the government of the Federation, Pius Anyim, that more than 17 million Nigerians had signed the register calling on the president to run. The former head of state and presidential aspirant of the All Progressives Congress, Muhammadu Buhari, said on Saturday in Kaduna that another 4 years of the ruling People's Democratic Party would spell doom for the country. Buhari said he was personally concerned at what he called the deliberate plot by the ruling party to use religion and ethnicity to destroy the country. The APC presidential aspirant, who spoke at the Northern APC Stakeholders Interactive Meeting in Kaduna on Saturday, insisted that the greatest problem facing Nigeria was not religion or tribal differences, but the deliberate plot by the ruling People's Democratic Party-led government using religion and ethnicity to spoil the country for selfish gains ahead of the 2015 general elections. Speaking further, Buhari lamented the militarization of the last governorship election in Ekiti and Osun states, where a large number of soldiers and other security operatives were deployed for the election. He argued that the move showed that the ruling PDP was desperate to hold on to power, using every means at its disposal to achieve that. The leader of Abuja's Market Women Association, Felicia Sani, has dismissed claims that Nigeria is more divided under President Goodluck Jonathan than at any other time in its history. Speaking on the sideline of a rally organized by the Transformation Ambassadors of Nigeria, the market leader argued that the country is more united with Jonathan in the saddle.
Even a blind man can see. A blind man can hear it. Nigeria is coming to a position of I must like myself. With these things that I've done today, I know that we are our brother's keeper. We still like ourselves. We still love ourselves. We have a long way to go. We have passed 100 years. We are making a history for another 100 years. For our future generation, for our children to see. With Jonathan, I see peace. With Jonathan, I see love. With Jonathan, I see harmony. With Jonathan, there must be peace in this country. We are together. We work together for the future of this country.
The success achieved by Governor Ayodele Fayose on his second journey into the Ekiti Government House through what has become popularly known as stomach infrastructure may have become the benchmark for politicians seeking further political office. Latest to join the Fayose school of thought is the former Deputy Governor of the state, Abiodun Olujimi, who declared her senatorial ambition at Amo-Ekiti in Ekiti East local government area. Rashid was there. He filed in this report.
The October 16th swearing-in of Fayose as the governor of Ekiti State has automatically confirmed the PDP the position of government in power, leaving the APC in the opposition. The state capital may be calm, but in faraway Omo-Ekiti in Ekiti East local government area, former deputy governor and current board of trustee member of the PDP, Abiodun Olujimi, is seizing the opportunity to declare her senatorial ambition while inaugurating her contact and mobilization committee. The Fayose stomach infrastructure policy was the yardstick of her campaign.
We'll mobilize development in agriculture, environment, youth development, in the economy, and in the general well-being, which we call stomach infrastructure.
Olujimi, who served as Fayose's deputy governor during his first term, expresses confidence in winning the primaries and subsequently the general elections.
My people believe in me. This senatorial district believes in me. I've done it before. They know me and they know that I will deliver.
For the legal advisor of the Ekiti State PDP, Kolade Kolapo, the stability of Fayose's government will form the background to the next development in Ekiti State. Kolapo tells lawmakers in the state to queue behind the Fayose's administration.
They go on recess for the next 1, 2, 3 months, they will come back one day. Now that the government of Ekiti State has changed, we have a PDP government in place now, I think the members of the House of Assembly should work together as a team to support the government so that the government can succeed.
With the PDP now in power in Ekiti State, the jostle for relevance among ambitious party members will no longer be a child's play. if the words of political observers are anything to go by. Rashid, CoreTV News, Omu Ekiti.
Ahead 2015 general elections, Women Arise, a non-governmental organization, has urged Nigerians to exercise their rights to vote wisely and choose candidates that will represent their interest in the best possible way. Oluwaseyi Adugike was at the group symposium in the Ikorodu area of Lagos. Her report is presented from our studios.
The symposium was tagged 2015 Elections, Options for Survivor. Leader of the Women Arise organization, Joe Odumake, speaks on the importance of conducting a free and fair elections in 2015.
2015 elections will make or mar Nigeria. And the reason for this lecture and this sensitization, this epoch-making event, is for all of us to get involved in the process in having free, fair, and credible elections.
Nollywood actor Jide Kosoko says Nigerians must think about securing their future.
The politicians we have in this country today, in fact, they are too desperate that you now continue to look at it from why they really want to come on board. Is it to serve or to make money for themselves? If truly you are offering yourself for service, then must it be a do or die thing? So we are no fools. They have given you the power. They said, one man, when you vote, you count there. They have told you, go and elect your leaders from legacy.
Chairman of the Nigerian Bar Association, Ikorodu branch, Dr. Olatunji, tasked Nigerians on the need to protect their vote after casting their ballot.
I know when this thing will not impact on those of us in this world today. And when we go out of this world, what are we expected to do? Are we expected to keep this to ourselves? Or to disseminate information to other people that are not here?
The organizers admonished Nigerians not to sell their votes to desperate politicians who are out to take advantage of their often weak positions.
The pathway to 2015 is gradually opening up with the emergence of presidential hopefuls, especially in the camp of the nation's leading opposition party, APC. So far, former head of state Muhammadu Buhari and former Vice President Atiku Abubakar have kicked off their presidential intent on the platform of the APC. But what kind of president do Nigerians really want? Olajumoke Olatunji put 2 lawyers and a varsity teacher to task on the development and returned with this report.
At 54, an average woman is a grandmother who has seen it all and is at a vantage position to nurture younger women. Comparatively, many scholars have said that Nigeria is a toddler at 54. The country, arguably for the set of people, is yet to become a nation. Ethnic conflicts and civil unrest, characterized by loss of precious lives, still hallmark the polity. In spite of huge human and natural resources, Nigeria is still plagued by different challenges. By May 29 next year, Nigerians would have shot themselves on the foot if the person they're swearing as president did not have answers to these challenges and more.
A president that is angry, sufficiently angry. And I hope people will understand me. Such a person must be so thoroughly embarrassed, so completely overwhelmed by the degree of decadence and the failing prospects of or chance of salvaging this society, this country. He must be apprehensive that if nothing is done, we'll be pushed off the cliffs because we're already at the presidency.
Currently, the names of 11 Nigerians have been mentioned in connection with the 2015 presidential election. built for February 14, 2015. Those said to be interested in being the chief occupants of Aso Rock include President Goodluck Jonathan of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar of the All Progressives Congress, Muhammadu Buhari, Sam Ndazaya, Adams Oshiomhole, Musa Kokenso, Rochas Okorocha, Abdul-Jalil Tafawa Balewa, Aminu Tambuwa, and Sam Wanti of the Mega Progressives People's Party.
We need a president who will be prepared to rock the boat. Unless they rock the boat in Nigeria, Nigeria may continue to wallow in this endless pit of indolence. This is a country with a huge capacity, I mean, to be a giant in Africa, like it was once referred to in the past. But because of this kind of lackluster, lukewarm, you know, uninspiring leadership that we have had over the years, I'm not specific about Jonathan alone, I'm talking about Nigeria's leadership.
The kind of president that we all need in 2015 is that man that can offer responsible and constructive leadership. A man or woman that has the courage of his own convictions, who is willing, ready, and able to tackle the monster of corruption.
Of the lot, Buhari, Atiku, Oshiomhole, Ndazaya, Tafawa Balewa, and Wanti have declared their intentions to run. President Jonathan has been adopted by the PDP as its sole presidential candidate, a move that Tafawa Balewa has vowed to overturn at the party's presidential primaries. The likes of Kwankwaso, Okorocha, Tambuwa are yet to make their intentions known and are said to be neck-deep in consultations, while Saraki has opted out of the race. Just moments to the general elections, the political arena is heated up and Nigerians seem ready to go to the polls once again to demonstrate their constitutional rights. Olajumoke Olatunji, CoreTV News, Lagos.
It's CoreTV Prime Time News. Nigeria Medical Association seeks strict surveillance measures for Ebola in the country. Join us after this timeout.
There is an Ebola virus epidemic in some West African countries. The Nigerian government wants you to be aware and watch out against the spread of Ebola in your community. Help keep our country safe and watch out for severe cases of fever, headaches, diarrhea, chest and abdominal pain, sore throat, cough, red eyes, and bleeding from the eyes, ears, and nose, especially when these symptoms are found in persons coming into Nigeria from other West African countries. Protect yourself. Wash your hands regularly with soap and running water, or use a hand sanitizer. Avoid contact with the blood, urine, feces, or saliva of animals like bats, monkeys, gorillas, chimpanzees, or infected persons. The Ebola virus is deadly. Don't catch it, don't spread it. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information.
Glad to have you join us on another edition of The Political Arena, the most detailed and incisive political show.
If you are a sitting governor and the opposition is able to stomach structure against you, that means you are wicked to the people.
The end of our time as the legitimate authority to govern this country.
They gave me 20 minutes to move or they will shoot me.
He has no chance for survival. If he likes himself, this is the best time to get out before he perishes.
The PDP as a ruling party has failed.
So anybody who thinks that government will fold his hands and allow miscreants to take over the streets of our own state and cause havoc is deceiving himself.
The good, bad, ugly, and beautiful sides of the Nigerian political system. Join me every Sunday at 9:15 p.m. on CoreTV News.
Welcome back. It's CoreTV Prime Time News. A reminder of our top stories. Nigeria's wartime head of state, Yakubu Gowon, marks 80 years birthday. President Goodluck Jonathan, other PDP leaders stay away from TAN ambassador's rally pushing for his second-term presidential ticket. Two frontline Lagos lawyers, varsity teacher warned Nigerians to look properly before casting their ballot for the next president in 2015. Remember that you can also watch us on our social media platform, www.facebook.com/CoreTV News. On Twitter is at www.twitter.com/CoreTV News. And on YouTube, www.youtube.com/CoreTV_News. Elder statesman Edwin Clark is convinced that the country can overcome its security challenges if all Nigerians shun partisanship. He also warns Nigerians against playing politics with potentially divisive issues. Clark gave the advice while receiving a pro-Jonathan group support group, the Dynamic Women International, who paid him a courtesy visit in Abuja.
Together as a country for the past 100 years. And we have been governing ourselves for the past 54 years. Therefore, we are brothers and sisters. The problem of one section of this country is the problem of the whole country, isn't it? Yes. Therefore, what is happening today in Northeast is the problem of Nigeria, not only the problem of Northeastern people. So people should not play politics with it. Nigeria first before your politics.
That's right.
Without Nigeria, you cannot be a politician.
Oh, yes.
You cannot go to Ghana to be a politician.
That's right.
Always have regard for your country. Be loyal to your country. Be faithful to your country. I believe that this country called Nigeria is very well blessed. Let us not run it down.
Immunity clause enjoyed by top Nigerian political leaders, especially the president, his vice, state governors and their deputies, has again come under scrutiny. Speaking against the backdrop of rising corruption on the part of public office holders, two chieftains of the Yoruba Unity Forum, Anthony Adefoye and Olawale Oguni, advocates for the total removal of the immunity clause. They also agreed that easing the clause out of the Nigerian constitution will gradually pave way for a corruption-free society.
Our major problems in Nigeria today is corruption, and we need to do something urgently to arrest this corruption. And this corruption is from the top. It's from the top. There is no doubt about it. The immunity clause was protecting corruption, and therefore we decided at the conference to remove this immunity clause. At least people will now have the fear of God and the fear of man when they are doing anything, either in the State House or in Aso Rock, before they do it, because they know that the people are now very, very aware and could take them to court.
If you have a political culture that is developed, you could say remove it. But however, I'm not neither here nor there on this matter. What's essential for me is restructuring Nigeria first. The moment you are able to restructure it for the people to own their country through a people's constitution, all those will not matter. But I think again that we must begin to query some of the pillars sustaining corruption, and that is immunity.
They spoke on the sideline of the recent general meeting of the Yoruba Unity Forum in Ikenne, Ogun State. The Nigerian Medical Association has called on the authorities to strengthen the national routine surveillance and notification system to prevent the return of the Ebola virus. It also made a case for adequate protective materials for health workers across the country. NMA President Kaode Obembe made this demand at a press briefing to usher in the 2014 Physicians Week.
When you hear that there is no Ebola in Nigeria anymore, that does not mean we should go and sleep. All communities should make sure they organize themselves to what we call community Ebola surveillance units and make advanced preparations to use EVD isolation precautions. Now, what's the way forward? Strengthening of the national routine surveillance and notification system, which is what I was trying to mention. Revitalizing the health sector, infrastructural development, provision of basic amenities, conflict resolution and management, capacity building and reorientation of port health officials, capacity development of healthcare providers, case management and infection prevention control. I want to add at this juncture that Nigeria is one country now in the whole world that they could learn lessons of how Ebola could be curtailed and could be controlled.
Shop owners and residents are still counting their losses following the tanker fire incident that claimed 17 lives and goods running into millions of naira at the Molete area of Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. The call on the state government to bring into quick fruition the promise to compensate victims of the incident. Matayalo brought back this report from Ibadan.
It was a tragic evening on Saturday, the 11th of October 2014, when a petrol tanker fell at Molete on the bridge, spilling its contents, which resulted in a fire that destroyed everything on sight. The tanker reportedly lost control due to brake failure. This burnt container store was to serve as a house of refuge for some of the victims who ran for their lives. Unfortunately, they did not live to tell their stories. The terrible stench still oozing from the container tells more. One of the market leaders in Molete, Iswat Oyinlola, who remains sad over the deadly incident, revealed that 17 people died, 47 shops, 13 cars, 13 buses, 3 motorcycles and 3 tricycles and 2 houses got burnt in the inferno.
We are appealing to the government to come to our aid so that the people that are shop bonds, they should come to our aid to support them to start the business again. Because some of them, they can't do anything at present. There's no money, there is nothing again. So we are appealing to the government to please come to our aid.
Making a special plea to the government, the community head of Molete, Rashid Adigun, calls on the state government to hastily provide the relief materials promised to the affected persons.
We are appealing to the government to help all these people. They have nothing. All their markets are burned. So they help them, they will have something for their business.
Coming barely less than 2 months of another fire incident at the popular Aleshinloya market, residents and business operators in the area are still very much in shock of what befell the community. Omotayo, CoreTV News, Ibadan.
We take another break and return with business, sports and stories outside Nigeria. Stay with us.
There is an Ebola virus epidemic in some West African countries. The Nigerian government wants you to be aware and watch out against the spread of Ebola in your community. Help keep our country safe and watch out for severe cases of fever, headaches, diarrhea, chest and abdominal pain, sore throat, cough, red eyes and bleeding from the eyes, ears and nose, especially when these symptoms are found in persons coming into Nigeria from other West African countries. Protect yourself. Wash your hands regularly with soap and running water or use a hand sanitizer. Avoid contact with the blood, urine, feces or saliva of animals like bats, monkeys, gorillas, chimpanzees or infected persons. The Ebola virus is deadly. Don't catch it. Don't spread it. This message is brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information.
And now to business. The Chief Executive Officer of Nigerian Stock Exchange, Oscar Onyema, says the exchange is fully committed to furthering good corporate governance among listed companies. In his presentation at the Sustainable Stock Exchange's Global Dialogue, Onyema explained that the exchange was developing initiatives and frameworks aimed at placing governance on the same level as other parameters of corporate performance. He said listening to what other exchanges had to say about sustainability made it even clearer that we have to move at a swift pace if we are to meet and finance the sustainable development goals that will be set in September 2015. Otherwise, we will be back in 2030 saying that little was accomplished. Onyema made the statement at the World Investment Forum, which was organized by the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development held in Geneva, titled The Fourth Global Dialogue on the Sustainable Stock Exchanges Initiative, which the NSE signed on to last year. The Global Dialogue, a roundtable gathering of high-level officials, showcases the many sustainability-related opportunities and challenges facing capital markets. The federal government plans to raise 96.26 billion naira in treasury bills with maturities ranging between 3 months and 1 year on October 23rd. The Central Bank of Nigeria made the statement saying it will issue 34.88 billion naira in the 91-day paper, 30 billion naira in the 182-day note, and 31.38 billion naira in the 1-year paper using the Dutch auction system. The results of the auction will be released the following day and settlement will be on October 25th. Report has it that Aberdeen, Glasgow and Southampton Airport have been sold by owners Heathrow Airport Holdings in a £1 billion deal. The 3 airports will now be owned and managed locally by supported by a consortium formed by 2 companies, Spanish firm and Australian-based firm. The United Kingdom's busiest airport holds a 25% stake in the Heathrow Airport Holdings HAR, which was previously known as BAR. The deal means that HAR will now operate only its flagship London hub. The company had previously operated 7 airports, but an inquiry by the Competition Commission ordered it to be broken up. By the time of the ruling, it had already sold Gatwick before later disposing the Edinburgh and announcing the sale of Stansted last year. The sale is expected to be completed in January next year. Director of Competitions at the Nigeria Football and that Sport Federation, Mohammed Sanusi, has congratulated the Super Falcons as they progress to the semi-finals of the ongoing Africa Women Championship in Namibia. The former African champions have won all 3 of their group game, the last being the 2-0 in over host Namibia on Friday. And Sanusi has given the Nigerian ladies a thumbs up for their impressive performance so far. The Falcons will play their semi-final match on October 22 at the Sam Nujoma Stadium, knowing that a win will automatically guarantee them a place at next year's FIFA Women's World Cup in Canada. It is to this end that Sanusi has further encouraged the team to ensure they pick a World Cup ticket. Anemore beat Serbia's Victor 6-4, 6-3 to reach the Vienna Open final and boost his chances of qualifying for the World Tour final. The Briton, 10th in the race to London, is competing in Australia alongside Spain's David Ferrer, who is 9th. Top seed Ferrer, 32, faces Germany's Philipp for a place in Sunday's final. The top 8 players qualify for the season-ending finals, and if Murray, 27, wins in Vienna, he would move 8. Russian Tennis Federation President Shamil Tapishkev has been fined $25,000 for referring to Serena and Venus Williams as the Williams brothers on a TV chat show. He also received a 1-year ban from involvement in the Women's Tennis Association WTA chief executive star Stacey Alastar said the comments were insulting, demeaning, and have absolutely no place in our sports. But he claimed it was a joke and no malicious intent. And now to Iraq. Iraqi lawmakers have approved new defense and interior ministers, completing a unity government that is battling the spread of Islamic State militants. Mohammed Salab Ashia was appointed interior minister, while Clad Assani was confirmed as defense minister. The ISIS control a large part of the country, has been making gains despite U.S. coalition airstrikes. Reports say the vote by the lawmakers will be a big relief both inside and outside Iraq after weeks of wanglings. A more inclusive cabinet is seen as an essential first step in countering ISIS fighters, particularly among Iraq's Sunni minority. Prime Minister had pledged to file the post in September, but his previous nominations were rejected. The previous Prime Minister, Nouri, was forced to resign in August as the Sunni Arab and Kurdish communities accused his administration of pursuing sectarian policies. And just before we close the show, here's a wrap-up of stories that made the headlines. We told you that Nigeria wartime head of state Yakubu Gowon today marked his 80th birthday. We also brought you a report that President Goodluck Jonathan and other PDP leaders stayed away from TAN ambassador's rally, pushing for his second-term presidential ticket. Finally, 2 frontline Lagos lawyers and university teacher have warned Nigerians to look properly before casting their ballot for the next president in 2015. That's been the show tonight. On behalf of our entire news crew, I am Gift Ogete. Have a good night rest.